Hi, my name is Jokoya. So excited to be talking to you guys again. So I'm going to be doing this initial family therapy session roleplay. So for segment 1, it says, how would you begin the first meeting in terms of laying out the goals and structure and starting to join the family and gain their trust? So kind of just to start off, I would introduce myself. Just like, hi, my name is Jokoya. I'm a worker here at such and such agency, or I'm like one of 3 workers, kind of just to give them like an idea of like our agency and like me and that sort of thing. And then I would also get the family to introduce themselves, just so that I could better put a name to a face. And then once we kind of just get like names out of the way, what I would do is I would kind of like ask like the different family members like things that they like to do for fun, like their interests and their hobbies, both individually and as a family. Something else that we might do kind of just to like get like more communication going on is kind of I would probably ask like the different family members to, say like one thing that they like about each other. I just think that'll be helpful, and it kind of pulls out like their strengths and their interests and that sort of thing. And then in regards to like the goal setting, what I would do is I would ask them like, what are their goals? Why are they here? Have they been to therapy before? Have they set goals before? Did they work? Did not work? Just so that we can kind of like make those goals up together. I don't want to like go in like with my own agenda and say, hey, these are my goals for, X, Y, and Z. I would rather us like, kind of make those goals up together and kind of develop them together as a whole. I think it would like encourage more communication, and it also kind of puts the responsibility on like the family members and the clients that that they're responsible for their treatment, because they came up with these goals. I didn't come up with these goals for them. We came up with them together. And then for segment 2, what might you say to interrupt any bickering or blaming that the parents might start with one another? So just in regards to like the bickering with the parents and that sort of thing, what I would do is kind of just like remind the parents that like why they were here. So kind of just going back to segment 1 and just like like these are the goals, these are why you're here, like just kind of reminding them of like their goals. So doing like a lot of redirecting, a lot of regrouping, just bringing everyone back together in the conversation, and bringing it back to like the topic on hand. So if dad starts blaming mom that I'm just so upset because like I'm just blaming you, like you're the reason why she tried to commit suicide because you're working all the time. I kind of just like, regroup them and redirect them, hey, like I understand that you might be blaming them, but, let's not point the finger. Just like kind of just making them aware that like what they're doing might also and what they're doing and what they're saying might be impacting the children as well. Something else I might do to kind of help with the bickering and the arguing and that sort of thing is kind of like encourage the parents and the other family members to use I statements. A lot of times I think people are like bicker or like blame others because like they're so frustrated and they just like don't know how to get their frustrations out. So, they just say things. And I think it's just important that, that they just use I statements instead, like, I am upset because you work all the time. Not just, like, putting the blame on mom because, like, she works all the time, so you're the reason why she tried to, like, hurt herself. So, kind of just, like, discouraging from that and more encouraging of using I statements, both with the parents as well as with the children. I just think it'll be really helpful for everyone, and I feel like it'll help build like stronger communication with everyone too, with the family. And then segment 3, how might you end the session, including any homework that you might suggest to help meet the goals that they have set for themselves? So Okay, so and in the session, I will definitely summarize everything that we had talked about throughout the session. I think it's important for me to summarize things that we talked about. That way the family knows that, like I was listening to everyone's concerns and I was listening to, everyone's opinions and that sort of thing. And that way it kind of also gives, it makes the family aware that I was listening, but it also makes, make sure it's I can clarify anything that I may have misunderstood. Mom could have said something in the beginning of the session, and then at the end, I go to summarize it, and come to find out, I summarized it wrong. So that kind of gives, mom the opportunity to correct me, as well as have, any of the other family members, add in, what they want to add in. So definitely summarize everything that we talked about. I will also remind them of the goals, that way that, they know, they remember and they're mindful of, why they're here at therapy. This is why you're here. You're here because you set this goal for yourself as well as for your family. So I think it's just important to always keep, the goals in mind. And then lastly, what I would do in regards to homework assignment, I would definitely kind of encourage the family to continue to use the I statements that we had talked about earlier, outside of therapy. Just kind of reminding them that, it's great that you're using your I statements here, but it's even better when you're able to use them at home. I think it's just important just to have it's important to practice everything that you learn in therapy. It's great that you guys are able to do it here, but it's even better doing it at home, when you're not in front of me, and, when you guys are, in the middle of an argument, that you, use I statements. And I would definitely also encourage them to come back at next week's session and kind of just say, how well or not well the I statements worked, at home. That way we can kind of figure out where we should correct it, other things that we should work on, and that sort of thing. And I will also just give them kind of a little agenda of what some things that we might be exploring next week. Just kind of just reviewing what we talked about last week, going over the homework of the I statements, and and we might touch base on why she tried to commit suicide, and why it's important to why it's important to have value on your life and that sort of thing. So that's probably everything that I would do to end everything. Trying to think if I missed anything. I don't think I did. I think the only thing that I wanted to add, though, is that in segment 1, just also in part of the getting the family to join together, in addition to asking about their interests and hobbies, I would also want to know if there's any other systems involved, whether it be juvenile probation, children and youth, some type of if they're involved in some type of schooling program, that sort of thing. And that was pretty much it. Definitely open to everyone's comments and feedback. Looking forward to see what all my classmates have to say. Let me know what you think about what I had to say. And thanks for watching. Have a good night.